Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back. Donald Trump says, Milley is a complete nut job. I had to throw that in there. Trump tears into Joint Chiefs Chairman and says the only reason why Biden won't fire him is because he knows his dirty secrets about the Afghan withdrawal. Oh, yeah, that's typical Trump. I mean, it's maybe not presidential, but nobody said it wasn't accurate, I guess. Former President Donald Trump tore into Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley and President Joe Biden on Wednesday night after the commander-in-chief staunchly defended the embattled general from accusations he broke the chain of command with his calls to Chinese officials. It's not an accusation. He did. He accused Biden of covering up for Milley because of dirty secrets the general may know about Biden's chaotic Afghan withdrawal. Milley never told me about the calls being made to China. From what I understand, he didn't tell too many people about him either, the statement began. On Wednesday, Milley admitted to making 2 calls to his Chinese counterpart, both before the election and in January, after claims he went behind Trump's back for fear of rogue action the then president may take. Trump called him a complete nut job. I want to fool around my sound effects today. I thought that was appropriate. He put our country in a very dangerous position because President Xi knows better and would have called me, Trump continued. Yeah, well, the man's got a point. The way Milley and the Biden administration handled the Afghanistan withdrawal, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in our country's history, was not exactly instill fear in China. The only reason Biden did not fire or court-martial Milley is because he doesn't want him spilling the dirty secrets on Biden's deadly disaster in Afghanistan. Well, why didn't ask the question then if that's not true, if even partially true, if that's not the case then, why would he defend him? Democrats are notorious for throwing people once they use them under the bus. It's very common. Republicans do it too, but Democrats make it into an art form. Now, is because not too long ago he appeared before the Senate subcommittee and said that white supremacy is a danger in the military, and he wants to know why. There's white rage. He'd like to find out, too. Maybe that's it. He's woke. That's a statement there if you want to read the whole statement from the Trump PAC, Save America PAC. Trump appointed Milley to lead Joint Chiefs of Staff in 2018, and he took over the role in 2019. Yeah, it was Trump that put him there. Go figure, right? In a similar statement Tuesday night, the ex-president called Milley I'll just say it, it's not that bad, a dumbass, and even blamed him for the crisis in Afghanistan. Action should be taken immediately against Milley and better generals in our military, of which we have many, should get involved so not another Afghanistan never happens again. Trump said in his previous statement, remember, I was the one who took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. Milley said it couldn't be done. He added, for the record, I never even thought of attacking China, and China knows that. The people that fabricated the story are sick and demented, and the people who printed are just as bad. I got to give that statement a round of applause. He never thought of attacking China. You got to be out of your mind. The guy's not. You know, he's got a lot of personality quirks, and I'm very critical of him, and I'm a big Trump supporter and still am. But he's not going to start a nuclear war. Out of their minds. You know what it is? It's deflection on a huge worldwide scale now. I mean, all the Democrats do is deflect. Whatever they're saying that someone else or any group is doing, that means they're doing exactly the same thing. That's deflection. Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has been branded a danger to the country, so who secretly collaborated with our greatest military rival by Tucker Carlson. That's a little hyperbolic, but it's not inaccurate. Who went on to rail against Biden's endorsement of the disgraced general. in Washington, including with the Chinese government, is not considered a sin. It's not even weird. Miller, who led the Pentagon when Milley made the phone call in January, said he did not and would not ever authorize a general to have the secret calls and urged him to resign from his post. Yeah, this is a statement here from the acting Secretary of Defense at the time. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is the highest-ranking military officer whose sole role is providing military-specific advice to the president, and by law is prohibited from exercising executive authority to command forces. Period. Of course, here's Jackie's, Jen Psaki's comment concerning when they were called on the carpet for it about Biden's support for Milley. The outgoing president of the United States during this period of time fomented unrest leading to an insurrection and an attack on our nation's capital on January 6th. She said, adding that it was one of the darkest days in all the nation's history. She added, there was broad concern from a range of members of his national security team about his behavior for office. And Jen Psaki later added, I had to do that. I'm making light of this because it's so serious and so ridiculous. I don't know what else to do because I'll go into a rant and it's late at night and I'm tired and I really don't want to put myself through that. It's unbelievable. It's like if somebody had written this movie saying 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, about Biden, Afghanistan, the head of the Joint Chiefs, the crisis on the border, you name it, all the way through the list, making businesses vaccinate their employees, lockdowns, all kinds of draconian stuff. Nobody would have believed it, and the movie would have flopped. But sometimes life imitates art. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also weighed in saying, if the call did take place, then China would use it to their advantage and describe Milley's decision to make an unauthorized call to Chinese generals as treasonous. You can read the rest, but I'm not going to read this whole thing. Joe Biden says, I have great confidence in General Milley. It's just unbelievable. Milley thinks China is winning, and so he's sucking up to the new masters, so he tells us. Russia's the only country on earth that has the capability to destroy the United States. That's absurd. It's amazing to me. Absolutely incredible. You know, some of my episodes have been going a little long, so you want to stop the video. I'm not going to read this whole thing word for word. Only the President of the United States has the capacity to make those decisions, and I'd be shocked if the then acting Secretary of Defense gave him any authority to even contemplate that very conversation. He wouldn't even consider it out loud. Oh, God. Of course, Secretary of Defense, current Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin is standing behind Milley. Of course he is. Of course he is. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Oh, God. Kirby declined to comment on the fact that the general told his Chinese counterparts he would give a heads up if Trump decided to strike. I'm not going to speak to unconfirmed reports from a book that we haven't looked at and read yet, and certainly not to a conversation that took place before the administration took office. And you can read the rest of it here. One reporter asked Milley should be court-martialed. Promptly, the Secretary of Defense very forcefully and manfully said, oh my goodness. It's, I have no doubt that General Milley consulted widely with his colleagues on the National Security Council and others during this period, Bolton said in a statement Wednesday. Now these guys are railing behind John Bolton. Probably the biggest hire mistake that Trump ever made. The guy's a war hawk. He said we'll be celebrating in the streets of Tehran soon. The guy's amazing to me. It's just incredible. Oh, gosh. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki reaffirmed the administration's support for Milley, lauding him as a patriot. I don't know what to make of this. I really don't. I really don't. I didn't even want to play her video. She is so full of crap. It's amazing to me. So, to conclude all of this, what do you guys think? You know, I consider it treason, but it might not be treason on the letter of the law. But it certainly is. I wouldn't call it sedition, undermining your own country. I don't know what the charge would be. I am not a military lawyer. But the fact of the matter is, the guy's got to go. He looks older. He's probably got a ton of time in the military. You know what? Give him his damn pension. Get him the hell out of Dodge. It's really that simple. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, God. Anyway, folks, that's what's going on with the continuing saga of General Milley. I don't know what to make of all of this. It's always Trump's fault. You know, it rained my wedding day. My car got stolen. Tens of thousands of illegals are crossing the border. COVID restrictions, the vaccine. Anything that goes wrong is always going to be Trump's fault. When are these, and Trump's right, these nut jobs going to fess up to their own screw-ups? Until next time, goodbye and good luck.